Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome back to Flight Simulator 2020. How are you guys doing? Layar. That's new. We're French now. How are you doing? How's everybody doing? Thanks for joining me today on our Flight Sim stream. Going for a slightly different plane today. Different approach. Thought we could revisit some items that we have tested way back, see how far it's gone now, if it has improved or maybe not at all. But thanks for joining. Who do we have in chat? Thanks Patrick, glad you could join. How are you? What have you been playing recently? Alex, thanks for joining, man. Glad you made it. Just now brown with good textures. I like it. Maybe not. Thanks for joining. Hey, super. 5 months. Just the start. Oh, that's amazing, man. Thanks, glad you made it to the stream. Yes, we are flying with the Longitude today. GG. Oversizer, welcome back. It's been a while indeed. How are you? Oxylad? Yes, perfect timing, man. It's like brain connection. Nice. How are you, Jack? How was the stream? Sorry couldn't drop by. I was shopping. I might have bought something. It'll arrive tomorrow. And no, it's not a side panel, but it's like a smaller kind of thing. I bought an Elgato Stream Deck XL so I could fiddle around with actual physical buttons, both for the stream and for more buttons in our sims. That could be kind of a side panelish thing, right? Should be arriving tomorrow. Looking forward to it. How are you, Bunky? Yeah, I'm excited to test out the Longitude because the G5000, G3000 mod from Working Title got an update. 0.4.0 now, if I remember correctly. Has that kind of split screen view on the MFD. Very nice. We'll check it out later. And yes, as always, I have Darkfly's Longitude mod, which makes the Longitude much more flyable than the default. Unsub! Staying safe and warm. Yes, trying our best. Warm is not a problem here where I live, but I get how that can be a challenge for some of you guys. Living life, yeah, as much as we can hope for these days, right? Hang in there. World of Trucks event VOD. Ah, yeah, that's a private overlay, unfortunately. It's a skin using the ETS2 telemetry server, something I made myself, but I haven't been able to share it yet. Playing some ATS at the moment. Good to hear. Same with me. I was driving over 1,000 miles yesterday. I enjoyed the trip. I made a video on it. I recorded it, but I might make it into a time-lapse soon. Hey, Chemex. Or is it Chemex? Saw me on YouTube. Oh, nice. Yes, indeed. Flight Sim 2020 is amazing. It's a bit rough around the edges, but it's getting smoother with every update. High-tech side panel, I know, right? Excited for it. Actual physical buttons. That's my main problem with the touch portal thing. This is cool and everything. It's a smartphone that was repurposed as kind of a stream deck, pseudo stream deck. And it's nice. It's cheap. But it doesn't have that tactile feel because you're touching a screen. And it's hard when you're looking in front, having to do so many things, reading chat, playing the sim, making sure you're not crashing, to reach around and make sure that you're touching the right button and if you pressed it right. So for those kinds of things, the Stream Deck would be perfect. Plus, I wouldn't need to charge it anymore. This one I need to charge every 2 or 3 days. So it's a bit of a hassle. Instead, we'll be using this for like as a remote control for Netflix watching. When me and Mrs. Clumsy are watching, we can use this as a remote control. Quite nice. Touch Portal app for those who are interested. You can make your smartphone into a semi-pseudo Stream Deck kind of thing. Yes, it's the same thing. Telemetry server, just a different skin, Oxy. Hey, Scotsman! Any new trains you're trying out? I think there's a new DLC that's coming out for Train Sim World 2, is it? Did I hear wrong? Sim dashboard, yeah, that would be nice. Warm and windy. Really? No, just English. And Filipino, if you like. Warm and windy where you're from, Alex. Find it hard to imagine. Has the weather turned? I heard in Germany it was snowing over the weekend. How's it been with you guys? Still plenty of snow? Still middle of winter? Here it's starting to warm up bit by bit. England too. I see. Right, so let's get into it. We're going with a longitude, but 1 second. I want to use Skypark today, and I want to fly out from Singapore. So if you guys saw the video, I featured the Singapore Changi Airport and the downtown area, custom sceneries from Cloudsurf Asia Simulations. Very nice, and I want to actually fly out from Singapore. But the airliners are not yet at the level where I would hope them to be. So I'm not going to use them right now. So the best thing we could do is a proper jet. So we'll be flying out from Singapore from the longitude. Okay, there you go. Okay. So we have the Skypark loading in. Should see it in front of you. Yes, there it is. Contracts have been loaded. So what we can do is we can look for a contract that is departing from Singapore. Whiskey Sierra Sierra Sierra. I think you can say that with a dash so that you want it to originate from there. Is that how it works? There's only one, I think. Actually, two. VVTS, Tan Son Hat in Vietnam. Is that the biggest airport? Maybe. Or counterfeit apparel. Oh, that's like a dark side job. Okay, we probably don't want that. This one looks pretty interesting. Would be a nice change. 590 nautical miles. That shouldn't be too bad. So starting off in Singapore and then make our way pick up truck suspension parts. That's actually very proper, very fitting for us. Fixing some trucks. Going to Ho Chi Minh. Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam. It's been a while since I've been there. 25 left. Yeah, we can do that. We can try that. Let's request it. Okay, we got it. Manage. Nice. So let's plan that in little Navmap. But before that, we get back to chat, see if something's happening. That's just Alex. The warm and windy. Oh no. Alright. So Whiskey, Sierra Sierra Sierra. Weather in Singapore, bit cloudy. Nothing fancy. The job is VVTS, Victor Victor Tango Sierra. And I want to try again the default ATC today. It's been a while. And I know usually we go with either VATSIM or pilot to ATC. But yeah, it came to me that yes, there's actually a default ATC as well. Something that we haven't checked in a while. So maybe that could be a good thing. Could be something we could check out. Let's go for flight level, I don't know, 390 maybe. That can be a thing. I don't think I have proper aircraft performance. If we look for, because right now this aircraft that's loaded is the CJ4. We have the longitude here. There it is. Okay. So I think I can actually go higher here, flight level 410. Yeah, let's go with that. 410. Might be too high, but we'll make it work. Departure procedures from Singapore. In terms of the weather, MVFR, we have not the best visibility. Oh, we might have to change that because I want full visibility departing from Singapore here. Winds are 340 at 4. So it's still 02 center and 02 left, which is ideal. What we'll do is we'll load up somewhere here. Yeah, we can load up somewhere here, maybe in gate G10. Push back, and I want to taxi over the overpass here, which is literally over a highway. Make our way to 02 left. So let's take 02 left as the departure. Actually, it depends what ATC will give us, huh? Yeah, that might be interesting. We'll test that out. We will test that out. Okay. So for now, let's see. But you know what? Let's go there. Maybe we can use the default flight planner for that. Let's see how good it is now. 4 degrees. Warm for this time of the year. My goodness. I can imagine. Yeah, that's not a joke, but it sounds funny to me. 4 degrees being warm. Right, so one important thing if you're using default ATC is the settings. Assistance, options assistance, user experience, ATC voices have to be on again. I usually turn that off when working with VATSIM and Pilot to ATC. And then if you want to be called properly, you have to have a call sign of citation. So they will be calling a citation 1 Charlie Lima instead of Cessna 1 Charlie Lima, I think. Something like that. Good. So let's say we want to go Whiskey Sierra 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 to Victor Victor Tango Sierra. Let's see if this one can work. And then if we make an IFR high altitude airway here. Alright. Let me see. Winds over in SG. 6 degrees. Actually 02 would be better, but it didn't. Yeah, that's not really the right one. Let me do it something like this. G10. Yeah, it doesn't do it automatically. I don't think it does it properly. Cruise altitude 450. Yeah, let's just use little Navmap. I think it's not that reliable yet. So 02 left is what we want. Let's pick a proper departure here. It's not good. Something that goes in the same direction at the very least. That one is the closest one. Vermeer 5 Echo. Let's pick that one as the departure. Any restrictions with altitude? Above. Okay, no below restrictions. Good. So that's just a straight out climb. Okay, all good. Hey Led, do a barrel roll. How are you doing? What are you and Blah have been up to recently? Still working on the farm? Pretty lucky with snow, aka Nano. Wow, that's something different for a change, yeah. Usually you would be filled to the brim with snow by now. Okay, variable 3 knots, all runways are good for landing. So we can say, what is the biggest runway? Let's maybe pick that one. This one, 07 right. Okay, let's pick a 07 right for the arrival. Would be nice we get to see a little bit of Vietnam here. How close are we to Ho Chi Minh? Right in the center of Ho Chi Minh, is it? Interesting, I might be able to distinguish some areas here where I've been before. Yeah, could be. Nice. 07 right, okay. Should be coming from the southwest. That could work. Don't need anything too fancy. So many stars here, goodness. I think a straight one can do that one. Misa. That one. Lat 1 Alpha. 07 right. And let's assume that they will be giving us an ILS 07 right. So many transitions, circle, DME arc and stuff like that. Goodness. Well, we can just do that, I guess. This one, 233N. That one works, kind of, probably. We'll see. Okay. So with that, oh, it's a lot of not very scenic path here, middle of the ocean. Well, the sea. But that should be okay. We'll make it work. Calculate. There we go. Those are the waypoints. All good. Save that. Export it. Both as an FS 2020 flight plan and as an FMS for Navigraph. So I can load that in. That should then spot in here if it works, I hope. There it is. There we go. Okay, good. But the approach, yeah, let's just keep it like that. I don't want to mess it up. Let me load it again. Hey, Sonoma. Flying in Clumsy land. Yeah, for a change. Little bit my neck of the woods. Is that how you say it? Okay, 02 left, but I want to start in gate 10, G10. Something like that. Did it change anything? Did it break anything? No, I think it's still intact. Good. Alright. Now that one, how much fuel do we need though? You know what? I have no idea. It says block fuel 326 gallons. Based on my current performance, we should have more than enough. We have 1,000 gallons in here. Let's keep that as is. I think that should be okay. I hope. Famous last words. Okay, let's load it up and then I'll get back to chat. Sorry for the delay. Been sick the past couple of days, Led. I see. Well, glad to hear that you're feeling better. Hey, OV. Explain. Oh, that's a large debate. Yeah. Explain has better physics. I think that's actually true. It has better physics. It has better payware planes right now. But the overall package, the graphics, the overall immersion, I like much better Flight Sim 2020. Although yeah, I'm not able to fly proper airliners yet because there's no proper study level airliner yet in the sim. But I'll gladly stay with the smaller planes for now, just to enjoy the complete package. Not sure which one. Yeah, glad to hear you're feeling better, Jack. Are you back to normal, I would say? How are you doing, Sonoma? Yes, Longitude is working well with the mod. You have to have the mod in there for it to work properly. Otherwise, it oscillates and everything. I hope I actually got it correctly. Oh, I forgot to highlight how you spot that it's the right one. You go to the liveries. In the flight planning screen in the world map, you go to liveries and it should say there FDE or something. Fix. It should highlight the version of the mod you have. Yeah, it's amazing how this was done, how it was overwritten. So it's basically, oh, that's beautiful. Hello, Changi. So this plane is premium deluxe, one of those premium deluxe planes. So you only get it if you have the higher package, and because of that, they've blocked it. They've locked the files, so no one can just easily change the parameters like in other normally included planes. But what Darkfly did, the modder, he kind of went around that. So he completely disregarded the default files and told the plane, look for this file instead, and he made a whole new file and remade or reused some other stuff from the CJ4, modified it a bit to make it proper for the longitude. So he's like circumventing that lock by using different files altogether, and with that he's been able to mod the plane. Very smart workaround. Yep. How are things here? Yes, we have live weather. Good. It is not live time though, because it should have sun now. There you go. That's how it should look outside already. It's a shame we can't use the jetway because those are actually work. Those actually move. But anyway, we'll try to enjoy it nonetheless. Don't crash. No promises there. Welcome to the stream, Addicted. Good. Let's see if I can find that. What I always have trouble with is finding that right instrument panel. There we go. Left system test and right battery on. Make sure to turn on the left and right generators. External power can go on for now. There's the new look of the updated G5000 mod. Very professional looking. Can go and have like half and half there. So you can go and use this to switch to which screen. So you can zoom that. You can have like a zoomed in version like so, with the airport view. And you have the other one which is like the full flight plan. Something like that. Very nice. But for now we focus on this one. You have a look at the flight plan here. Okay, let's wait for that to load. I almost forgot that happens. I hope this doesn't crash when you scroll down so much. That looks to be okay. 7 right Yankee. Yeah, that looks good. I hope. We'll see. It's soothing. It's Filipino. Thanks. It's lagging a bit, interestingly enough. And my goodness, the RAM that's being consumed, 81% of my RAM, my 32 gigs is being consumed right now. We should have plenty of planes. Oh, we have lots of AI planes moving around. Let me show you the little Navmap. Little Navmap has visibility on all the AI planes. So you can see all the planes on the stand, on the gates. And you can also see the planes which are airborne. Very nice, right? So far, it's good. And this has been causing crashes for me before. But there's a workaround from Little Navmap. He made an update. Because there's a problem with the flight sim right now, I think. It can crash when you have AI planes and you are linking it with third-party applications. So hopefully that doesn't happen to us though. Let's load up the truck suspension parts. Let's plan our flight here. We do have a flight plan. This one from Little Navmap. So let's apply that. Yeah, should be good. Going to Vietnam. Let me also open Navigraph charts. I hope this doesn't cause any bugs with AI planes though. We will see. Hopefully not. It's a good test. Seems to be something wrong. 1 second. Oh, that's okay. I just need it for the charts. Alright, let's have a look. So, here's the airport. Very large airport here. That's where we are. Terminal 4. Oh, this is Terminal 4. I see. Yeah, this is the newest one. Cool. Yeah, that's why. That explains it. Because normally when you're starting Terminal 1, 2, and 3, I think are around these parts. I think it's basically this main area here. And they recently added Terminal 4, but in order to go to Terminal 4, I think you have to ride the bus for now. Something like that. When with the others, you can like ride the monorail. That explains it. Great looking plane. Indeed, it's very professional looking. Although it is, I guess it should with the price. How much was it, Alex? 20 million USD or something? Thanks for the follow, Addicted. Appreciate it. So that's where we're starting off. We'll see how it works with the ATC. If the gates will be properly considered, AI planes considered and everything. Check it out. Oh, and the departure that we'll be flying is pretty straightforward. 02 left this one, so 02 degree track to Topom. Should be above 2000 by then. That shouldn't be a problem. And then it's just waypoint after waypoint to Mersing. No problem. No finicky stuff. Good. Cheap plane. Yeah, nothing fancy. Good. Alright, let me try something, huh? I want to assign a key to the ATC. Autopilot, we can unassign that. Don't use that anyway. Instead, I want that to display ATC when I click that thing. We get some music in, just a bit of ambiance. Very Asian sounding. There we go, that's the ATC. Alright, so we should be tuning into clearance 121.65. How do you tune that in? You click here, 12165 transfer. Ground would be not sure if they'll give us 12565. Let me plan for it. Let's get our clearance. Request IFR clearance.
Singapore clearance delivery Cessna 9er.
It's been a while.
1 Charlie Lima IFR to Tansen Hat ready to copy.
Why is it still Cessna? I said Citation, right?
Takeoff runway 2 center climb and maintain 8,000 feet.
8,000.
Departure frequency is 120.3 squawk 4557. Cessna 9er Victor, 1 Charlie Lima cleared to Tansen Hat Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 2 center climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Departure on 120.3 squawk 4557.
The phraseology is still wrong.
Read back correct. Contact ground on 127.275.
127.275, and there's no read back on the. Okay, so it's still a bit lacking, but I guess it's still, at least there's something. 127.275. And we said the squawk was 4557. So squawk would be 4557. Oh, it got automatically adjusted. Okay. 8,000 feet to center. So they changed our runway. But how does that work then? With the departure that we set. Take a blue one and a gold one. Buy one, get one free. Okay. Anyway, let's ignore that. Press B here for the proper pressure, barometric pressure. Nav source would be FMS. Now the V speeds, I forgot. 1 second, let me check. Because I should have an article here somewhere. From the Flight Sim forums. It's in the mods list. Let me find it. V speeds, this one. Okay, it's a bit filled with numbers. So that's the one. V speeds for the real plane. So that's the depending on your weight. You have V1, VR, V2. Not familiar with the VFTO. But that should be enough. Those first 3 V speeds is what I'm looking for. So depending on the weight, what weight do we have total? 32,000 pounds. So if you look here, 32,000 pounds is around this one. So it should be 114, 115, 126. So let's plug that in here. Speed bugs 114. What does it say? 115, 126. Okay, there you go. I'll keep that here for reference. 114, 115, and 126. Keep all of those on for the speed tape. Good. Alright. Probably need a new departure. Yeah, I think so. They haven't assigned us though. That's the weird thing. Can we request that? Nah, we'll just see what they give us. 023. Heading 023 for runway heading on 02 center. Unfortunately, that will mean we're not going to go through the overpass. Oh, that's fine. We'll still see it from above. Speaking of above, make sure to get those panel lighting. Ecog lights for nav lights, and let's turn on our anti-collision lights. So we're starting the engine soon. Looking good there. So how do you start this plane? This plane actually has an APU, just like an airliner, an auxiliary power unit, like a smaller engine. Let's start that up. Should hear it. See the APU starting up there. Should also hear it from outside, I believe. Wow, I'm getting a lot of lag here. Interesting. That might be the one here from the back. You should see some exhaust here, but I'm not sure if it's modeled. If it's the same. Hey, Aussie Pilot. Hope the mods help out. Let us know if you have questions. There's actually someone there. I think he's on final 02 center. Oh, that's 747, I think. Let's go and watch. Pretty cool stuff. AI planes for the win. Doesn't seem like he has landing gears on. Oh, he has. It just didn't render in. There it is. Boog. Okay. I guess I'm not one to talk about smoothness of landing. Leave him be. Any landing you can walk away from, right? Hello. Crappy stuff. I think that's for laughing at the AI. got its revenge. So how do we make this work? The problem with Flight Sim right now, it doesn't even tell you what caused the issue. So I might have to turn off traffic just to be on the safe side, or stick to live traffic at least. Looks like AI traffic, yeah, still not fixed. Maybe it's fixed with little Navmap, but with other apps like Skypark or Navigraph, those might still be a problem. I'm not so sure. We'll have to check it. My goodness, that sucks. We'll see. So it's a waiting game again. Which actually means maybe we shouldn't even be using ATC anymore. Because my trust in it has not increased. I was hoping that ATC would have been developed since the release few months ago, but it doesn't seem like it's improved much. It's not off to a good start at least. Yeah, let's just fly here. Won't even use ATC anymore. I think it will be better if we fly our own way. More stable. So I'll switch to live traffic. I'll turn off ATC voice and let's just fly as normal. Feel better about your landings now. Hey Tyler. Hope you find the mods list useful. Let us know if you have questions. 555 Bilathai. That sounds yummy. Haven't been there before. Tampines. This is very familiar to me. Yeah, I live around this area in the east, Singapore. So this is literally home. Oh, it's nice. It's a nice feeling though. That feeling that you can actually see in the sim what you see in real life and connect them. It's a very fulfilling thing. Best to keep it simple. Yeah, agree. It's a shame. We can't maximize it yet, but better safe. At least we have a flight rather than forcing things and crashing all the way. At least we get to go and do a lot of sightseeing on the way. Skypad is still waiting for us. Okay. It detected that we kind of disappeared. Alright, let's do that. Controls. No. Assistance. Turn off the voice again. Buy ATC. It was a quick ride. Nice to know you. Okay, this is what I was telling you. If you go to livery, yeah, you see that one, FDE fix version 1.51. That confirms that you have the mod enabled. If you don't have that, then that means you didn't install the mod properly. It's a good way to check it out. Right, let's load it up. Pro mods and other map mods, welcome back. What other map mods do you have enabled? So different, isn't it? In our season 2, I'll be sticking with pro mods. Not sure if I'll enable other map mods, but for now, pro mods definitely. That looks good. Turn off air traffic actually. That's good. All right. That's weird. Okay. No air traffic, but multiplayer players will still be there. That should be good. Flight plan is loaded in. Let's load it up and hope this time it works. Rust Map Pro extended in SR. Oh, the classics. Nice. Rewind. Yeah, I know, right? Hey, Gamaste. How are you? So, what have you guys been busy with? More trucking, more flight sim, SnowRunner, other new games in your radar? Me and racing, we don't really mix. My reflexes are too slow for that, unfortunately. It would just be a frustrating experience. I remember I told you guys before, I actually got offered a key at this truck racing sim, where it's a racing sim but with trucks. I was planning to feature it in the channel, but as I was trying it out, I really suck at racing. It would just be a frustrating thing to watch, so it doesn't work, unfortunately. You've been playing a ton of iRacing. Good for you. Yeah, lots of fans. I think Squirrel is hardcore into that right now, right? Speaking of Squirrel, did you guys see his studio tour? Hardcore stuff. 2 different setups. I was hoping I would be able to get a tip on how to set up my own, but that's too hardcore for me. Next level stuff. Quite the studio indeed. Yeah, true. Interesting with the FPS consumption. The RAM consumption. One sec, huh? Let me check something. The RAM is being consumed mostly by FS 2020. 17 gig just by FS 2020 alone. And we're still on the... Well, it is a very busy airport. I guess that kind of makes sense. Okay, turn that off for now. Let's fiddle around with the controls here. Turn on the batteries, generator, turn on the GPU. Precog lights, anti-collision as well. Max out the panel lighting. A little bit of flooded lights would help, just a tad. Go for FMS mode here. 023 on the heading.
TAWS system test. Okay.
Let's go first to 8,000. Let's mimic what they gave us. I think if I remember correctly, transition altitude here in Asia for the most part is 11,000 feet. There you go. Flight director's on. Okay, we can start the APU again. So I think he only has one PC, right? But he switches like the monitors from his left and right setup. So he doesn't really have like double everything. Quite interesting. Not your usual type of mechanic. The V speeds will have to plug in again. That's a good point. 114, 115, 126. Turn those on. Good. Alright. Went back to one PC. And I'll be moving to 3090 soon enough. APU is 100%, that's good. Okay, we can start engine 2 for now. Maybe... There we go. And while that's working, we can actually release the parking brake. Get some pushback from here. We can get rid of the external power since we have APU already. Let's go and get our pushback. There's the guy. Kuala Lumpur to Singapore. Oh yeah, nice. The day into the Solomons. Where's the Solomons? Darwin, Australia. Cool stuff. How are you finding it? Is it very different in terms of the airports, the procedures? Finmark add-on for Pro mods. I haven't seen that yet. Is that the one where you have the screenshots, the bridge shots? What does it add? I guess that sounds like something like Finland and Denmark. Zoom in a bit here. There we go. Pushback finally started. You have engine 2 running. Start engine 1. It's a very quiet engine. You can see the reflections from the panel there above. From here, not sure how you push it back to the other side though. Yeah, it's a bit buggy. Actually, it's not buggy. The features are not really complete with the pushback. It's literally just pushing back. With the airliners, you can steer, but with GA, it's very limited. So let's just leave it there and turn later. Right, let's tour around Changi. Okay, looks like we have 2 good engines. Parking brake is off. Let's go to nav mode here. And then go to manual mode for the speed and hit FLC. But go to, I think, 240 knots would be a good starting point. That will be for the auto throttle, so it targets that speed. The navigation systems in this plane is not yet as developed as with the CJ4, but it works for the most part. You should be able to make that happen. Adds a bit to Norway. Near Honningsvåg, they're the northernmost part. Is it near the North Cape? Is that the one? Let's go in taxi here. Oh, and I should resume my flight actually. Resume. There you go. It's getting detected again. Sorry, I'm tracking our position. Let's turn right here. And then turn left, Lima 7. So that is pretty accurate. All the taxiways are accurate representations. So I'm looking to go over that overpass where we can see the highway from below. Pretty cool stuff. Actually, didn't turn on my taxi lights, did I? There you go. I like the panel here, very intuitive. Very easy to access. Nice design. So that's the one, I think. Sierra Charlie 2. Is it? No, it's not the one. Lima 4. Okay, I should turn right there and then left. Above Crickines. Cool. Is it a huge add-on? Lots of areas it adds. Flaps. So from what I heard from the inputs, Flaps 2 is actually the setting for takeoff. But I think there is a bug at the moment. I think it will be fixed in the next version. In the default plane, it actually would warn you about the landing gear. Once you retract it after takeoff, it will warn you about that landing gear. As if it was expecting that remains lowered. So don't be alarmed there. That's as expected. So here's the ramp. And then we should be right over the highway soon. This adds 4 cities. Cool. Have you tried out the DB Creation traffic mod? I have a video coming out later there. I'm liking it so far. There we are. It's very nice. Yeah, I've actually been on this exact highway. It was my first time seeing a plane crossing on an overpass. Didn't know that was a thing before, years back when I first passed through here. And then you can see the tower all the way from there. And that's Chuo Changi, the mall. Very nicely done. Right. So it should be Whiskey 9. Okay. Let's have a look. It's a bit confusing, the gates, but that it looks like all the way straight through, that's the runway. Look at this, even this part, ST Engineering, and you have some SQ, Singapore Airlines planes there parked. Looking good. I hope I remember the stuff here though. Takeoff procedures. Turn on the landing lights, strobes as well. There won't be anyone here. Since we turned off AI planes now for a bit more stability. Haven't tried DB yet. It's quite nice. I'm not sure how it compares with SIPs. It seems to be stable. If you manage to watch the video later, let me know how you find it. Speaking of traffic mods, Green Light Racer from our Cool Kids Club channel posted a traffic mod of his own for ATS. Silly Panda tested it and it's nice. Haven't managed to check it out yet, but it would be interesting. What is that? Closed. I don't think we need to open that. Generators are on. That should be okay. APU gen I forgot to turn on a while ago, but it should be good. Alright, that looks okay. So from here, we should be able to turn on the auto throttle right here on this button. That should follow the speed that we've put in. There we go. On our way. We should have V speeds coming up soon. Was it 115? There it is. B1, rotate. Very gentle climb. Positive rate, gear up. Yeah, that's the one. Landing gear alert.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Go for autopilot here.
Landing gear.
So we can look outside.
Landing gear.
There it is.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Bye, Singapore.
Landing gear.
Let's take a photo.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing
It's
gear.
going to be pretty frustrating. Flaps up. Let's see how well this flies. So it is sticking to 240 knots. It's climbing like crazy. It is going beyond though. Yeah, it's not following that perfectly well yet. Flaps are up. Gears are up. Yeah, it's just going above and above. Alright, there we go. So now once it reaches the 8,000 feet altitude constraints, it will try to meet that 240 again. So it's still a bit of tuning with the auto throttle, I think. It's not quite as accurate yet as one would hope. The 3 runways of Singapore, with the one there mainly for the Air Force. That's Singapore downtown right there in this distance. I live somewhere here. Can you guys see me waving? Why do we have that like white haze, huh? Hey, Amplify. This is Darkfly's Longitude mod. 8,000 feet. That looks working like it's working correctly. Alright. Auto throttle is working properly once you're in level flight. But once we try FLC here, let's try that again. FLC. See if it follows. So far so good. Let's climb all the way to 410. That looks more correct. Yeah, I think there was a hiccup during takeoff. Maybe I missed some steps, I'm not so sure. But now it seems to be working fine. My goodness, look at the rate that it's climbing. What is that? 6,000 feet per minute? I can't see because of that overlap. 10,000 feet, turn those off. Goodness. So synthetic vision, care of G3000 mod. Everything in the glass panels working properly. Looking good. Let's turn that back on. We have a look at the departure chart here. Let's track Mersing VOR 116.8. 116.8. We should see it appear. There we go. Identified as Mersing Victor Mike Romeo. And then here, that's the 147 miles. That's the end of the departure. Looking good there, and we should have actually moved to standard baro. If I can find the button, that one. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay. 1013. I think it only works at 18,000 feet. So it's a flat transition altitude in the sim right now. For US flying, but not for everywhere else. Or something along those lines. Now I did notice that the satellite images here in Asia are a bit not as high quality. You can see it's a bit blurry. It's very patchy there. So yeah, it's quite lacking in comparison with other areas in the world. I guess that's something that we hope you would get better images from later on. That probably depends on Bing data, Bing maps. You have to trim it to climb at 240 before engaging AP, otherwise overspeed. Ah, I see. So it wouldn't trim itself. Interesting. Yeah, that doesn't make much sense, but I guess it shouldn't work like that, but I guess one of the limitations we have so far. I love how the new MFD looks with the flight plan there, the waypoint. How that's highlighted like that. Very nicely done. Super pro looking. Zoom out a bit and see if we can. How do you zoom out here again? 1 second. No. Have to go home and then zoom out. There you go. There it is. Good. Not a lot of clouds outside today. Not going to be a very busy flight. So actually it's more about sightseeing and enjoying the luxurious feel of this plane. Doesn't it have any cabin view? It's closed out there. That's sad. You can't appreciate fully the experience of flying in a luxurious jet like this. Now I think at some point you have to switch to Mach speeds as well. It should be around this point, but it doesn't automatically do that. So I think we have to switch to Mach like so. We click this. Mach 0.4. Let's move that to Mach 0.64. 1 second. I think I did something wrong. There you go. Mach 0.645. Let's do it like that. It's not yet very very, how do you say, set up in a way like how we would want it, like in the CJ4 where most of the navigation systems are working already. It's not yet that mature, but the actual flight dynamics, how it feels, they say is very accurate already. Okay, we can keep that. Yeah, and I think this Mach speed doesn't change. Normally the Mach speed should go lower indicated airspeed as you climb. But I don't think that reflects here. You have to like switch that, alternate that bit by bit, I think. Let's observe if that changes. But that shouldn't be too bad. It should work like so. Alright, so let's look at it that way. Turn off track IR. Track IR here. Catch up. Now I can spend more time with you guys. So anyone using a Stream Deck, an Elgato Stream Deck, I think downtown and was it San Simiano? I remember some folks in our Discord using that. I find it very promising. You can use it for so many different purposes. I'm looking forward to setting it up here in my desk, just fiddling with the buttons. And you can use it for both the streaming, the shortcuts, and also the sim elements, additional buttons and whatnot. I'll keep you guys posted when it comes. I'll post it in the Tech Talk in Discord for sure. By tomorrow it should be arriving. Oh, look at the winds here. Only 23 knots and we're already almost 34,000 feet above. Interesting. There you see, the Mach 0.64 is now much lower, but it doesn't automatically change. You have to move it like that more and more. Scroll it up and down so it refreshes the proper indicated airspeed, something like that. But all in all, I think the auto throttle is doing a good job. Much better at least than in default. APU actually I should have turned off already. Didn't need that after we had the engines on. But everything, not many things are modeled anyway, so it's mostly still role playing. But it's good at least you get to be able to fly this kind of fancy looking jet. Although study level would not be a description that would come to mind yet. Hopefully in the future, getting there bit by bit. It's changed again. How fast are we flying now? 414 knots on the ground. Not too bad considering that we're still climbing. Yes, let's keep it that way. Okay, so we are done on the departure. Yeah, we've reached the end of the departure. So from here, it's going to be mostly the seas below, I would assume. Now let's fiddle around with the FMS here, the MFD. It's ETA, I think 1:15. Is that accurate? That's 7 minutes. 8 minutes. That might just be the next waypoint. I'm assuming that ETA should be actual arrival at our destination. So that might not be calculated properly yet. What's happening? Okay, there it is. Alright, so now with that, we can actually increase our airspeed here. I'm not sure what is the cruising speed, normal cruising speed of this longitude, but I would assume as with most jets, it mostly just goes all the way until the red tape. So let's just max it out. Altitude 410. There's the speed tape, so let's put that at around 245. So, you know what, 250 knots. Indicated airspeed. Co-pilot is flying you from KJFK to KGRB. How long is that taking, Tom? Are you in flight sim 2020 now? Congrats. Right, yeah. Wrong HDMI port. Ah, I'm glad you found it. Congrats. Getting pretty cloudy there. This is what I love about the live weather. You really get that feeling of traveling. Because as you travel, you come across different weathers like this. And suddenly the cloud layer starts building or starts dissipating. You really get that feeling that you're traveling across the world. It's not like I'm not sure if some of the mods we have for weather, those who are not happy with live weather, what they do is they mainly like simulate, change the weather where you are, and they change it as you move. So it's like cloudy, overcast, and then suddenly it will be clear. But I don't think you'll be able to see something like this effect where you see something from the horizon that it's overcast, but right where you are it's not yet, it's still pretty clear. That's something that I really like, something I really like in the default weather. Ooh, what island is this? Joman Island. There's actually an airport below there. A very small airport. 2,900 feet runway. I think that's that one. Probably that one. Whoa. You're plugging it into the motherboard port and not the graphics port. Ah, yeah, because both of them have an HDMI port. If you plug it into the motherboard, that becomes tricky. I think you either get poor graphics or it wouldn't work at all, depending on how the settings are. How are we traveling now? 457 ground speed, not too bad, not phenomenal. We have a proper crosswind here, as in literally perpendicular to our direction, so I don't think we're getting any. We have 2 knots only of tailwind all in all, but actually the winds are not strong. I noticed that in Asia the winds are normally not strong, and I'm not sure if that's the case in real life or just some inaccuracy with the data that we're getting from the online providers. It would not work at all. Ah, I see. Sit on the runway for over 45 minutes. Yeah, we were working with ATC a while ago. I was planning on trying it out again, but I got discouraged when they assigned me the wrong runway and didn't change my flight plan to go along with it. So that gave me a bad impression. Don't think we can expect like a proper ATC coverage with that. So I think still work in progress. Been almost 2 hours. How long more would it take you, do you think? your estimates. RAM usage has gone down to 60%, so looks like lots of RAM are being eaten up by the airport, which makes sense. The airport in both the airport in the downtown area looks like. That looks okay now here. Pretty calm winds actually. Don't even feel anything. Well, let's see later. I think because we're over the sea, it's much more calm. But when you're over land, especially over mountains, you feel it more. I still don't have a definitive answer over that. Like when you're over mountains and you're like 40,000 feet up in the air, is it expected that you still feel some of the updraft from the mountain? I highly doubt it, but in this sim, it does seem like that. We'll see if that changes in the future. What are we doing? The flight plan? Still a long ways though. Yeah, we can chill. Enjoy the scenery. Or the clouds at the very least. So we are, how would you say, maybe 1/4 of the way? Yeah, 521 miles to the destination. It'll take a while. So sit back, relax, chill. Enjoy the journey, and now we can chat properly. I've been playing Red Dead 2 again, on and off, just like 30 minutes at a time. It's nice for a change. Although I can't help but feel guilty sometimes because I'm always thinking if I'm playing Red Dead 2, I could be actually recording something. You know, that kind of productivity battle inside my mind. I'm not sure if you guys experience that. Like I should be doing something productive instead of playing. But then one could argue, you could say, well, you need the downtime. Even if you're saying, even if you play as a part of productivity, that's still work all in all. At the end of the day, it's work you love, but it's still work. And it's very different from pure play that you just do for the purely playing point of view. So that's what I at least tried and convinced myself. Cool. Well, hope it works out. JFK to SLT TDT. I'm not familiar with those acronyms, but sounds like a fun flight. Spend your whole day thinking that you should do something productive. Maybe you think long enough, it becomes true. Nice. Philippines. Check out everything. There are lots of places, but from airborne, I'm not sure how those would look. I definitely would recommend checking out the mountains. Taal Volcano, that's Taal Volcano. That's near Manila. Well, relatively to the south of Manila. Mount Apo, Mount Mayon, those big mountains. Because those ones will definitely, you'll be able to see even from thousands of feet above. In the major cities, I guess, would be quite interesting to see. Davao, Cebu, Manila itself for sure. If you can fly over the Naiya International Airport. GA sightseeing, yeah, that would be great. I remember when I did a video on Mount Mayon, I think it was very nice. Tour around the place and then load up a browser alongside, get a little bit of history, bit of recent events or backstory, lore with the places you're seeing. That looks pretty cool. It's very nice. Southwest 1098. Yeah, I have it turned off. I won't be able to see you. Sure thing, Tom, if you can find me. I'm not sure if it's there. Just look for the Clumsy Geek, probably. There we go. Cloud layer is starting up. It's quite interesting now. Lots more happening. The FPS in this plane though is much better than in the CJ4. It's much smoother like that. I think these glass panels are easier on the frames than the ones on the CJ4. For now at least. I think they're going to do some optimizations in the CJ4 again soon. We'll see how that works. I'm not sure if you could. Points well spent, led. Have you guys been farming recently? Anyone missing farming yet? I think Alex is missing his pellets. Pallets. I remember Blah sharing about that. What was it called? Precision farming, was it? Something more detailed, more intricacies with the soil and stuff like that. I didn't quite understand it, but sounds interesting. Get ourselves into that eventually. Those farm sim days. Let's go and fiddle around with this a bit. What can we do here? We can have like a half and half here. Have the flight plan on the left. And I think normally what you do is on the right side you can have like charts. But the charts aren't implemented yet. So in our view we can at least have like the weather radar here. And turn that on maybe. Does that work? Weather. Let's see if that works. If I'm doing the right thing here. Why isn't that working? Do I have to turn anything on in addition? Not that it's useful. The weather radar in FS 2020 in general is very... it gives a lot of false positives. A bit too aggressive. So I actually don't use it. But it's a good, nice thing for realism. I think I'd mostly use this for the map though. Something a bit like a different zooming factor. Something like that maybe. Maybe something that is track up on the left and north up on this one. That can work. Or you can do, well, waypoint info you only get here on the panel, not on the MFD. Let's make that full again. Works for me. You've been farming. Nice. Are you guys doing co-op or more of a competitive farm? Nice. Glad to see that you can do flights now, Tom. Dream come true, right? Still remember those days where you're just imagining how of getting into flight sim? Are you really there? Almost year and a half, 17 months indeed. GG Ariana's glad you managed to join the stream. How are you? You've been doing any flights recently? In real life or in the sim? I've been getting tempted more and more into getting back into X-Plane just to get back the study level experience of the airliners. Maybe when X-Plane receives a major update, I can jump in. We'll see. You break the planes where co-pilot flies you. I see. I didn't even know that was a thing. That you could have your co-pilot fly for you. I never tried out that feature. Cool. But that's good if you want to just go sightseeing, right? Why not? How's the performance on your new plane? Does it work nice? Oh, that looks very good. Although the water is a bit marbly, huh? I guess from 41,000 feet above ground, you can't see many of the details. They crash a lot when they try to land. Ah, I see. Maybe they studied in Clumsy Airlines flight school. Have work to do. Nice, thanks for dropping by, man. How's your dog doing? What's his name again? Or is it a her? Is that his or he or a she? Nice photos though, thanks for sharing that with us. They land beside the runway. I see. Not quite on the target, huh? Yeah. Pretty edgy, huh? Yeah, I think at this point Flight Sim 2020 has matured a little bit. Little bit of refinements. A few refinements here and there. So it's a lot more stable. But yeah, as you saw a while ago, it can still crash. If you enable any of the fancy stuff, it can still be quite tricky. So looks like lots of things to still improve, but thankfully there are many updates along the way in the roadmap. One I think is scheduled next week, is it? World update for the UK. Let's see how that works. Go until they hit something or run out of land. Good try. Yeah, definitely Clumsy Airlines certified those pilots that fly you. Maybe you should hire some other pilots. Let's get some music in here. Bit of flavor. What does this button do? Bust the eye. I hope you won't need it. Negative 55. I still haven't studied the difference between the outside air temperature and the RAM air temperature. Looks like there's a lot of discrepancy there, a lot of difference. I wonder what's making that up. Still have to read up on it. Yeah. That's a good motivation to land on your own. But yeah, I mean, despite the problems in FS 2020, the overall experience it gives with a proper plane, with either a small GA plane or one like CJ4, a developed plane with systems, the experience is really something else. So nice. Have a look at Skypark here. Is it working properly? So far so good. Yes, I think we're doing okay. Oh, they updated this. I think the time is now synchronized with the sim time. Oh, there's a thunderstorm below. You guys see? Let's have a look below. Yeah, it has improved a lot since the release. Still lots of improvements to go to. But yeah. Nice progress along the way, and it will only mature more with the time as time passes. So very hopeful. I'm still waiting for the Aerosoft for the CRJ. That one will definitely be getting into. Might be time to go into airliners when that comes out. Enjoy, Tom. Yeah, learning to fly is amazing. And in this scene, free. Love those clouds. Rat or tat is temperature going around your surface, which is higher due to air friction. Ah, I see. So rat considers the air. So that's like the feels like. How about static air temperature? Is that same as outside air temperature? Cool stuff, that makes sense. Every single free plane. Oh, you have the premium deluxe? Yeah, that's nice. So you can fly this plane as well. Cool. Let me adjust track IR a bit. Get a nice view here. That one looks cool. Maybe something like that. Oh, that's beautiful. Can actually take a photo here. Very nice. For sightseeing, huh? Nothing else comes close. Did I change something? I think we're still good. Okay, good. Took you about 15 hours. Yeah, it's a big download. How large is it in total? 160 gigs? Something like that? How's our fuel? Game install took from midnight to 5 AM. Planes in airports took the rest. Good. Well, glad you managed to install it fully. Hey, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Feel free to join us in chat if you are in the mood. I want to fiddle around with the G3000 or the G5000 in this case. It's been a while since I've tried it out, but I'm quite scared that I will wreck something. So I'm quite hesitating to fiddle around with it so much. 152 UTC. Let's see if we can change that. Yeah, I think we can change this. Yeah, estimated time of arrival should be time in the airport, I assume. Estimated time en route. There we go. That's something else. Okay, so ETA is time to the next waypoint, I think. But ETA at final destination is this one, the landing. There you go, that's what I'm looking for. So it's 2:23 UTC. It's like less than an hour from now. And then endurance, I guess, is something like, I don't know, I guess depends on your fuel, how far you can go. Is there something like top of descent? No, I think I want the distance to go. Track miles. Let's see if I can find something. ETE, endurance desired track, distance to destinations, distance to go. That's the one, 377 nautical miles. Because this plane doesn't have VNav yet, so we have to descend on our own. So we'll have to do it old school type again. You guys remember the old school days when we had to descend on our own? We had to do that multiplication. What do you call this? Distance to go, no, your altitude to lose times 3. It would be your DTG when you start your descent. So let me have a look at the airport. The arrival airport. Airport elevation is 33 feet, so practically 0. So when we need to lose 41,000 feet, although we do have arrivals and approaches set up. So let me have a look at that as well. Latha. 3,000 feet. Okay. So I think if I read that correctly, Latha 1 Alpha. From Latha on track 002, descend 3,000 feet at Tanson Nat 182 radial, so that's this point right here, 14 DME. So 14 miles away from the VOR, from the airport VOR, we should be at 3,000 feet already. So that's the target that we are aiming for. Okay. So that would be 41,000 minus 3,000 is the target altitude is what? 38,000. So 38 times 3 would be 3876 10111 maybe, something like that, if I'm adding it right. So when we're at 111 nautical miles away from our destination, let's make it 120 just for a bit of buffer, we should start descending. And the descent is a 3-degree pitch down attitude, but I think there's also a calculation for that. Like let's say 250 knots would be our airspeed descending, and turn off music for a bit. 250 knots would be our airspeed descending. I think that's times 5 would be the vertical speed that we should be aiming for. So that's 250 times 10, that's 25, divided by 2 is 1,250. So we should be descending at around 1,300 feet per minute when we are 120 miles away from the destination. Something like that, maybe. More or less. Hey, pleasing. Good day, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Hey Rohan, how are you? What are you playing recently? Airbus A220 is in development for MSFS. Nice. Yeah, that's the plane you actually fly, right? In real life? Is that the... what do they call this? Bombardier? Or the thing that Airbus bought. So it's not like a full Airbus design. It's actually coming from something else. Good luck, Tom. Good luck to your co-pilot. GTA, wow. It's been a while. I actually have never played GTA 5. I don't think I had a proper PC when it released, and by the time I got a decent PC, I didn't have hard drive space. And now that I have hard drive space, I'm playing Red Dead 2. Maybe I can play GTA 5 eventually. You must. Oh no, here we go again. That's the one, okay. A220 was developed by Bombardier then bought by Airbus. Because it went bankrupt, I see. So some of the philosophies are different. Hey Jay, glad you could join, man. He didn't play GTA 5 either. Oh, now that's a surprise. With you playing lots of games. Did you intentionally skip out on GTA 5? And why? Really enjoy flying this jet. Yeah, with the mod, it's much better. Without the mod, I would be hesitant to try it. That looks much better there. 222. Yeah, still quite a ways off. What is that CN? Let me see if that's on the flight plan little Navmap. After do this, CN is actually an NDB. Yeah, it's an NDB. Conson NDB. Have you guys been to Vietnam in real life? I've only been to Ho Chi Minh. So that's where we're going to right now. This is probably the airport where we landed. But during that time when we went to Vietnam, I'm not sure if I was into flight sim yet. So I probably didn't pay any mind to the airport and stuff like that before. Started it but then had the PC problems. I see. Bad timing, huh? Yeah, it's mostly the same way for me. Maybe after Red Dead. Good morning. I progressed quite well with Red Dead though. Still in roads, but yeah, progressed quite a bit with the missions. Quite interesting. And I like that I can play it like 30 minutes at a time, 1 hour at a time, take a break. That doesn't have to be a full day marathon for me to progress. Yes and no, there are differences, some quite Bombardier things, but it made it Airbus friendly. I see. A319 and A320 are quite similar market. Cool. Well, I'll definitely be checking that out. I've never tried flying an A220. I'm not sure. I don't even know if other sims have an A220. And do you know which developer is building that? Should we post do they have a good track record, do you think? Oh, that looks good. Fudgy clouds. But man, the weather is silky smooth here. And I remember, if you guys haven't watched it, I'll highly recommend it. Flight Sim 2020, the official YouTube page, released their recent update recently about aerodynamics part 2, and it highlights different improvements they've added to the sim. Sounds pretty intense, sounds pretty comprehensive, although I guess I'm no expert, so I couldn't really tell if it was missing anything, but can just see a lot of work has been put into it. And they were saying something about when you're over land and when you're over sea, it is quite a different wind experience. Like, it's much more turbulent when you're over land than when you're over sea. I'm not sure if that's really how it is, regardless of how high you go. But that's what we're getting here now. That's why it's so stable, because we're over sea. When we're over the land later on, we will start feeling a bit more variety again, variance. But yeah, I'm still not sure. Yeah, maybe Arianas could provide an input there. Have you ever, I guess you have, flown over mountains? Do the airliners feel that turbulence from the mountains even if you're like at cruising altitude already? Is that really a thing? Or should you not feel it anymore if you're that high? The updrafts and stuff. gets interesting in RDR2. It's not interesting yet. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Looking forward to it. Flying the spammer Scotsman. A319neo was economical failure. Oh, why? The engine didn't fit that small body? A320neo was a huge success though, wasn't it? But the A319 wasn't. I see. Speed brakes are stowed. That's good. This thing here is good. Yeah. Very stable. How are the winds? Getting a bit of tailwind now at least. 7 knots in total. Goodness. At least we're progressing. Hey Geek Squad. How are you, man? Hope you guys are doing better. I saw your comment in YouTube. Oh, I am using autopilot, definitely. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to hand fly this long. I would probably be only hand flying a couple of minutes. Otherwise, I would get too tired and I wouldn't be able to chat. My full concentration has to be in front of me. But yeah, with these jets, with the airliners, oftentimes you go to autopilot anyway. As soon as you take off, couple of minutes after, at most, you start autopilot. Sorry to hear that, Geek Squad. Yeah, that's true, Tom. They do. So if a flight is like 4 hours, I would say it's an autopilot for like 3 hours, 50 minutes, maybe more. Because there's plenty enough to do even with autopilot on. With all the communications with ATC, with all the things we have to check, all the different knobs that you have to turn, and all the checklists you have to go through. There's plenty enough for it to go around, and that's why you still need 2 pilots, even with autopilot on. Yes, definitely will be landing this by hand though. I don't think auto land works on this plane. Definitely not on the sim, and I wouldn't rely on the sim for that. But I can't say that I'll be doing a better job at it. Just a disclaimer. I'll be doing it on my own. But I can't promise better results. A side panel, Rohan. A Stream Deck. I just bought a Stream Deck. I was telling the guys a while ago. Should be arriving tomorrow. I finally got tired of having to recharge my phone every time and not being able to feel the buttons. So now that I have a bit more funds saved up, I can afford those auxiliary things. Side panel, yuck! Don't let Jack hear that. A320neo is a success as they have a bigger passenger capacity with the same fuel consumption as the A319. Oh wow, nice savings there, goodness. Can be more flexible in times where the flying was booming. Ah, I see, that makes sense. Yeah. So their own product phased out their older one. It's understandable. Stream ducks. Not sure if you really need that. Yeah, it really depends on what you do. For truck sim, it would be nice as well with additional buttons, maybe parking brake, things like that if you need more buttons. But for sims, definitely would work. It even works for like productivity stuff. If you're editing videos, instead of pressing the hotkey, you just you see it visually what that button does. You don't have to remember hotkeys. It's a very nice quality of life improvement. Not essential, but definitely helps with the workload and stuff like that. Helps unload your brain a bit. It worked for you, the Autoland. Oh, interesting. Maybe it does a better job than I would. Ryzen 9 3900 XT, congrats. Good thing they're stock for the CPU at least. How is the stock now with the GPU, with the PC parts, with the PS5s and Xbox Series thingies? Is it any better? Obsolete A319, smaller capacity, flying is in depression. A220, which is super efficient and big saver, is the future. Nice. There are no GPUs. I'm sure you've been trying to look around, Alex. Oh my goodness, they need to step that production up. I heard China has their own GPU as well, competing with AMD and Nvidia, isn't it? But I have not heard anything about that though. And that's the problem with the China products though. There's not much information going around, so it's hard to judge. .3080s and 36, at least not in our territories, in our visibility. 3080s and 3060s were in stock at Best Buy for a few minutes a couple of days ago. Oh, I see, notification bots. The bank angle, I'm not sure if it applies to this plane, but normally when the plane goes up this high, at I think above 30,000 feet, the bank should be like half the bank instead of the full 30 degrees or 25 degrees. Not sure if it applies to this jet as well, or if it should. Now we're getting much better tailwinds. Nice. GPU 3 RTX 3070. It's a very good buy, the 3070. Turned off the AP at around 100 feet. Ah, I see. Yeah, it should. The autopilot should take care of that. Speaking of, I actually don't know the frequency. 111.7. Let's start tuning that in. Let me see closer. You know what? Let me tune the VOR. Tanson Nat VOR. 116.7. Tango Sierra November. 1167. Is that coming up? Not yet. Still too far. Okay, no problem. Will take a while. How are we in terms of distance to go? 233. So when it's 120, you should start our descent at 1,300 feet per minute. Overpaid caretaker. Sounds like real life, huh? Yeah. That's a huge baby though. Now that you're selling the A220 to me, I'm very excited to try it out. I don't expect it to come anytime soon though, huh? It'll take a couple of months at least. 3070 is in stock. Newegg. For real? Not anymore. After you refresh, it's gone. Cabin altitude 9,000 feet. MSI and EVGA, nice. Grab it, Geek Squad. Grab it. I thought you didn't like Newegg. Well, I guess if that's the only place you can buy, huh? Retail price, nice. Okay, looks like the clouds are thinning out again here. Any place available now? Yes, I can understand that. So any plans, Alex? 3090, 3080, whichever comes first. Now out of stock. Geek Squad bought it. That was fast. $3080 would be nice. Hey, recovery, basta. We are nearing Vietnam. Headed to Ho Chi Minh. Actually, that's a good point. I didn't enable Sim Toolkit Pro today, so we don't have that overlay. I should have enabled it. Forgot about it. Notifications on where the cards are in stock. Good luck with the hunt, guys. Let the tagging begin. Where have you guys been trucking recently? Lots of nice new small maps coming out, looks like. Bengan was actually telling me something about great news over at the ROX forums. Have you guys heard anything about that? I think it's something about Russian open spaces or Siberia, something along those lines, like an integration of some sort. I didn't quite understand it. I forgot to check back on it again. They're trucking. ROS being rescaled. What scale was it before? I actually never tried Russian open spaces. But I think I saw a video from Sergey where he was showing the map with all the different map mods in there, the Russian map mods. Maybe that's what it meant. I didn't recognize the different areas. ROS was huge. Was it part of the main map? Something you would add on to Rus map, or was it standalone? Yeah, that would be great. Adding on top of that. Still not able to track the VOR. It could be added, but it was awkward. I see. Yeah, it sounded like big news. Yes, Russian open spaces. I've never tried the map though, so I couldn't relate so much. But Bengan sounded very excited for it. So that's something to look forward to. Quite an interesting map mod. Is it literally as it sounds? You're in Russia and you're in open spaces? Was pretty plain black back then. That was my impression, because if it's open space, it would be hard to make it interesting. Huge space even in jet, I can imagine. We have 3070 out of stock. Wow, you really have to, I guess, make it part of your daily routine. Checking the websites, your favorite websites. Just a quick refresh. No? Okay, next day. And eventually you might get lucky. Maybe that can work. Lots of interesting drop-off points. I was just joking when I said when you refresh it's out of stock, but apparently, yeah, it's the real thing. It's really what happens, huh? Okay, let's look at the arrival and approach here. So this is the arrival, Lata 1 Alpha. Lata 1 Alpha, right? We'll be coming from Lata. Showed that a while ago. And then 14 DME, 3,000 feet. So we'll take care of that. And once we get there, the next one would be, I think we'll be turning left because we will be on the ILS 07 right, I think, Yankee. ILS Yankee 07 right. See how this looks. I'm still quite confused with the XYZ, X-Ray Yankee Zulu. I always can't remember which is which. Oh, look at this DME arc. Little DME arc right there. I think we'll skip the DME arc. The approach. The transition I chose was Delta 233 November. Oh my goodness, how we can find this one? This one here. This waypoint. So we'll go direct there after the end of the arrival. So it should be at 3,000 feet. 2,000 feet, final approach fix. Okay, I can just go direct 2,000 here. Minimums would be... What class of plane would this be? C, I guess. So 277 would be the minimums. Let's see if that works. Let's see if I can plug this in here. If I can plug in minimums, Barrow 277. That should come up there. I'm not sure if we'll get a call out. There seem to be some overlapping elements. Don't recall that being there before. Three hours, 30-minute flight with the A320. Nice. I was planning on going with the A320 today, but it was still quite framey. The FPS was a bit bad, especially with Singapore, the Changi airport, with so many different elements. So I think I'll wait for the next update. I think they mentioned, Plum in our Discord server was mentioning that it will be a nice, how do you say, performance improvement on the glass panels in the next stable update. So once that happens, I can get into the A320. It's just a bit, because we're coming from the A321, A319 from Tolis, which is study level, right? So not getting as detailed as that plane is kind of, I mean, you understand it because it's a totally different sim and fly-by-wire. They're doing an amazing work, doing everything for free as well. So that's just unbelievable. But yeah, still the level is quite not there yet. So I'm waiting for it to be closer so that we get that similar experience. Hey, thanks for the follow. We're doing good. Feel free to join us in chat. Have you flown the 787 yet? No, not yet. I don't, I'm not even trying it out until someone works on a proper one. So yeah, I'd rather wait for a closer to study level so I'm learning the right things. 81% on the N1 for cruise. That sounds about right. 148. We are 28 miles away from top of descent. See how this works later on. Should be some nice sightseeing outside if we're not too busy, but I don't think that will be the case. So that's the start of the arrival. Couple of rivers merging into one here. Interesting. That must be coming from a mountain somewhere or something like that. But for us, we'll be passing through some rivers. That's the Mekong River. Ah, it's a famous one, I think. Yeah, I think... Did we push through on that Mekong River? I think we were thinking of going through one of those tours. Yeah. Yeah, we should get some pretty nice sights of the city from here. On final, maybe. Well, actually, look at this. It actually gives us a top of descent as well. That's quite accurate to what we calculated. Cool. Look at that. Very nice. Zoom in a bit. $716 Delta Mike. Newish. Not so new. I think last update was December. This is the same from Darkfly. Works much better than the default. The game, that sucks. Yeah, we got a crash a while ago as well. AI planes are still crashing for me when I have all the other third-party planes, third-party apps. Skypark looks good. Yeah, it's a bit tricky. So what we can do is we can land here and then we can tour around with the Mooney or with the Cessna. Just take it, fly low and slow and do some kind of city tour. Enjoy the scenery. The way Bunky does it. I love the way Bunky tours around the world. Making the most of the flights in 2020. How do you say? Advantages and features. Despite not having as detailed as planes or list of or availability of study level planes are very lacking at the moment because the platform is very new. But Bunky focuses on the sightseeing part. So going somewhere like a long haul flight or a flight like what we're doing, Singapore to Vietnam, and when you arrive in Vietnam, take a smaller plane, go around the place, go on a virtual tour. Sounds like a good deal because in a flight like this, you can't really feel it, right? You can't really tour around so much. You get a few glimpses of outside, but barely anything. 121, that looks good. So let's set this to 3,000 feet. That's the end of the arrival altitude. 3,000 by 14 DME. 3,000. Let's go to VS and go for 13 feet per minute. I love the way that those knobs sound. Don't fail me, auto throttle. There we go, auto throttle going down. Come on, match that up. 50 knots, you can do it. Okay, it's able to manage. It's lowering the N1 bit by bit for me, so we maintain that speed. Didn't have all of the stars and SIDS when you tried last week. Well, the stars and SIDS is not a longitude problem. It's most likely a nav data problem from the sim itself. What I'm doing is I have Navigraph beta installed so that I get the complete list of SIDS and stars. Especially when you're flying to smaller airports, that's going to be very important. I remember when I was using nav data from the default sim a few months ago, the smaller airports, even in the US, the smaller airports didn't have any RNAV approaches. But as soon as I upgraded to the Navigraph Beta, all those RNAV approaches came out. So I highly recommend it if you have a Navigraph subscription. Now, we should get the Boeing Banana here, the range to alt indicator, but I think I have to turn that on. Map settings, I think it's other, range to alt. Where is it? Fuel range, wind vector. Let's put that all up. Wind vector. Where's the range to all thingy? Let me try changing the VS just to see if it will appear. Fuel range, let's also turn that on. Okay, not at risk of running out of fuel anytime soon. That's good. Let's see, if we make that steeper turn, doesn't appear. Oh, there it is. That's strange. That means I computed my descent wrong, didn't I? Because if you want to reach 3000 by, where was that? This one, Latha D182N, I think that's the end. Then we should be descending steeper. Huh. So did I compute that wrong? I thought it was 250 knots times 5. That would be the descent. Anyway, let's use this. Let's follow this. This must be a bit more reliable. It's very steep descent. Hey, Jamnik. Yeah, CJ4 mod is my absolute favorite. Still my absolute favorite. How are you doing, Jamnik?
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Yeah, that's one more problem.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
When the auto throttle goes to idle,
Landing gear.
you hear that landing gear notification regardless.
Landing gear.
One of the bugs, but I think that will be solved
Landing gear.
later on in the next update, because I think Darkfly found a way to silence the unnecessary landing gear notifications. He got some help from someone from the community as well. So right now what I can do is I can get a little bit of speed brakes in here, just so we wouldn't have to go flight idle. I think we can work like that. UK update, it got delayed. They released an update last week. They released some news last week that it will be 1 week delayed. So next week instead. That's good of them that they're deciding to delay instead of forcing things. Good. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome to the channel, guys. There we go. Vietnam in sight now. Details coming in. Let's turn back, track IR on. Get busy. Looking good. Waiting the whole day for it. Yeah. What I did was how did I do that? I think I subscribed to their newsletter or something like this. So every week when they release the development update, the news gets sent to me as an email. So I'm more up to date with the things that are on the horizon. I don't have to search for it actively. I think we can shallow out the descent a bit. 2,500, I think will be good. Stow the speed brakes fully. Yeah, this time they included that news with the dev update. I think a couple of folks missed it actually. So maybe they have to announce that a bit more explicitly. Let's see if this is correct though. Let me have a look at the MFD here. D182 November. Where is that? Okay, that's the end of the arrival. That's where we have to be at 3,000 feet, and the next one is Yeah, that's not the correct transition, but I'm scared to change it. So let's just keep it that way. Look at that, it will be a sharp turn. I think we'll have to fly manually when it gets to that point. Because there should be a transition here. That's the final final approach fix, that FI. What's the C stand for again? But even before we reach that, there should be a waypoint right here, which should make that turn a lot more shallow. But I don't know why it didn't appear. Hey Hud, yeah, long time man. How have you been? How are things? Glad you managed to join today. Flying over Vietnam today. Loving the look of those fields down there. Check it out with the Mooney later if you have time. Or with the Cessna or Mooney. I think Mooney is nice enough. Wonders of online school. Are you guys going to the school physically now? Still online? Is it still alternating? Relatively relaxed. Ah, great. Yeah, same with me. Hate school and college, my goodness, yeah. Mrs. Clumsy and I were just talking about this, and we feel so bad for the kids these days who are studying, because part of the experience really, especially during the school days, during the time when you're still in school, part of the experience is hanging out with your friends and getting exposed to different kinds of things. And most of the memories that we cherish, that we remember from back in the day, were those memories, you know, like hanging out and being together, either drinking or studying. Well, studying as if playing together, but it's being together with other people. And all of that is gone. In a school setting, that's a huge thing. In a work setting, I don't really mind, because in my view, in the work setting, I think you've had enough of that interaction. You want to minimize it by then. But when you're still in school, you need that social interaction. You need that I don't know how you call it, but that's an essential part of school life for me. So I really hope that it can change soon for the better, that the kids can go back to school physically again. No VATSIM, yeah. Vietnam. Oh, that's very nice actually. That's actually much better satellite imagery than in Singapore. Those are looking very good. And when we fly low later, might see that better. 16,000 feet. Now transition level here is flight level 1900 actually. Yeah, nice. Okay. So actually we should be, there we go, moving to local QNH 1011. 1900, interesting. That means, so if you look here, transition level is flight level 1900. That means if you're coming from above, flight level 410 in our case, you're descending. By the time you reach flight level 1900, you switch to local QNH, local altimeter. So local barometric pressure here, depending on what the local area says, is the QNH. And then you use, instead of saying flight level, you switch back to 13,000 feet, 18,000 feet, instead of saying flight levels. That's the main thing about it. Okay, that's Mach 3000 right at that waypoint. That's perfect. So let's keep that speed in. I think I will lower the speed as well to 240 knots.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
To be on the safe side.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing
To speed brakes.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing
So we can avoid that annoying landing gear notification. There you go. Beautiful. New strains are worse than anticipated. Are there more than one? I'm familiar with the UK variant and that they say is more contagious. I'm not sure if the effects are worse as well, but they say it's, in terms of infecting people, it's more likely that you can get infected. Not aware of others, I hope not. Okay, there we are. Also, so this one, we can see that the what do you call it? Tan Son Han VOR is being tracked now, 28.8 miles. We should see that by the time we get there, to that waypoint, they should be saying 14 miles. So let's observe that, and let me put that in nav2 here, because what I'll be doing is I'll be plugging in the ILS on the nav1. ILS frequency is 111.7, so that we are ready for our
Landing gear. Landing gear.
landing, our approach.
Landing gear.
There we go.
Landing gear.
India Tango
Landing
Sierra
gear.
identifier has
Landing
been
gear.
captured in
Landing
there,
gear.
but here
Landing
not
gear.
yet.
Landing
So looks
gear.
like we're still too
Landing
far.
gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
It's up again.
Landing gear.
10,000 feet,
Landing
landing
gear.
lights.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Come on. There you go. UK, Brazil, and African strain. Ah, I'm not familiar with those two ones. Brazil and African. PUBG. Fortnite, right? Is that classified as FPS? Is Fortnite still a thing, or has it been replaced by something else? Okay. So once we cross through here, I'll switch to... Oh crap. I actually have to remember. Let me see. Our weight right now is around 30,000 pounds. The V-speeds, I have to remember the V-speeds for landing. VAP VREF 20,000, it's 113, 104. We're very light now, 30,000 rather. 29.6. 1 second, huh?
Landing gear.
123112.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Let's go with
Landing
128116.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
128 VAP.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Oh my goodness, that guy is irritating. 128 116. So speed bugs. VREF 116. The app is 128. Good. Take off, turn off all of those. VREF app. Good. Alright. 3,000 feet. Almost there. That's looking pretty good. Exactly. Almost 14 DME, almost 3,000. Perfect. That's the way we like it. Good. So now let's go and switch to heading mode. Let's switch to nav1. There is the ILS. We have captured it, or we have at least detected it, tuned it in. But now let's go manually, and let's descend to 2,000 feet, which is the final approach fixed altitude. Let's descend to 2,000 feet. Good. Now I'm not sure. 250, 230, 250 knots for flap extension. Okay. Alright, 250 knots. So we can actually go flap zone now to slow us down. Landing gear extension would be 230. Okay, 230. We can slow down to 230.
Landing gear.
It's okay, looking good. Plane control a few days ago. Is it a good game? I only see it from the benchmarks. Watching FS and ETF. Sounds good, man. Alright. What is the airport called? Tan Son Nhat International. The airport in Vietnam, in Ho Chi Minh. -198. Hey Amir. Thanks for following a while ago. Is that the landing the landing speed? Actually not sure if we can tell if we'll get to track it anywhere. We'll see. Let me just get a more proper angle here to the final approach course. Arrival airport 07 right. Should be okay. We'll turn to the right whenever we can. That's where the gates are. It's okay. Yes, still working from home. Our company is changing its policy bit by bit so that we are more really as much as possible working from home. Final approach course is 070. It's looking good there. So let's go and intercept the localizer here. Welcome to the stream, Amir. Not really anymore. What was that, Hud? So do you have a lot of... You go out now? It's good to hear. Right, nav mode, localizer 070 on the heading. We are capturing the localizer. Perfect. That's working so far. Once the glide slope moves there, once we're 1 dot away from the glide slope, I will be extending my landing gear. Start slowing down here. It's looking good so far. The winds are okay. Coming from the right. Not too shabby. That should get a bit weaker as we get closer. As we get lower. Glide slope is moving. That should be good enough. Let's lower our landing gear here. Lower speeds to approach. Approach as well, arm the approach so that the glide slope will be captured. Don't fail me now. Oi, 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 oi. There we go, good. Glide slope is captured. And now that glide slope is captured, we can go up to 3,000 feet again. Selected altitude for the missed approach. And in terms of speed, let's go to the V app, which is, you guys remember what it is? It's very low, 130 or something. Going full flaps here. Get rid of auto throttle. There's the approach, 130 knots. Get rid of autopilot as well.
Autopilot.
Right. On our own. Ho Chi Minh is looking good, huh? My goodness, the detail here. It'd be nice to tour around this place for a bit. Wind's coming from the right. Looks good so far. Yeah, if anything, this mod is after all named Flight Dynamics, Longitude Flight Dynamics mod by Darkfly. So if anything, this really improves the flight dynamics of the plane. The way it feels when you're hand flying it. And it allows you to have that proper V speeds when landing. Taxi lights is also turned on. The winds are suddenly changing. Suddenly it's coming from the left now. That's, I guess, the airport weather. So let's adjust with that.
500.
500, check. 277 feet is the minimums. Let's see if there will be a call out there. We're at VRF now. Should be able to keep that in. Minimums. Okay, no call out on the minimums, that's fine. We'll make it work. Wind's coming from the left now fully. Okay, going to idle here. Set this down. It's a bit too sharp. And we're floating. And we're floating. And we're floating. And we're floating. That's okay. There you go. I'll take that. I don't think this plane has auto brakes. So just go speed brakes here. And turn on the next gate. Next gate is next taxiway rather. I think it's a bit awkward in terms of the position, but we can make that work. Laps going up. Landing lights can go off. Strobes going off. Let's make that sharp turn into here. Welcome to Ho Chi Minh, guys. Did play Doom 2. Okay, I'm here. 56, goodness. Yeah. Lots of people are enjoying the luxurious flights, I guess. Now I'm looking for a GA ramp. I don't think there's any, because this is a large airport. Thank you, thank you. Doesn't it apply speed brakes when you handbrake on the runway? Well, the speed brakes are this one, right? The auto ground spoilers. Oh, you mean this one? Ah, yeah, that might have been it. On the CJ4, there is no such thing. But on the Longitude, you're right. That might be it. That might be something like in the 737 where you arm the ground spoilers like that. So when you land, they automatically deploy. Makes sense. Let's maybe park up somewhere here so we can still fly. Okay, there's a GA guy here. I guess we can just park somewhere in this vicinity. Good catch, Blazing. Yeah, I have been here twice, I think. Ho Chi Minh. First time we went here, it was Lunar New Year, and we didn't know that Vietnamese actually celebrate Lunar New Year. So most of the shops were closed. Thankfully, we still found some which were open. So it wasn't a complete bust, but yeah, it was a completely different experience. The second time we went here was with my dad. We flew our dad. We went around with our dad. So I'm so happy that I had a chance to take him on a trip before he passed. So that's perfect. And then we're good. Taxi nav lights. Okay. We can turn off the engines now. There we go. And now we can deliver. This one. Nice. Karma plus 19.2. Goody good. Yeah, they celebrated too. We didn't know either. Because we were so surprised when we got there. Why is everything closed? Yeah, we flew from Changi. Exactly. Very nice airport from Cloudsurf Asia Simulations. I bought a payware airport and scenery for Singapore. It was very nice. The Grinch. Still haven't been able to change your name. Till when can you change it? Or till when is the earliest you can change it to? Good one. Alright, we still have a bit of time. We can enjoy the scenery more. Let's see if there's an airport. So I'll let you guys decide. You want to explore Ho Chi Minh or you want to explore Singapore? I'm okay either way. From a story point of view, it makes more sense to explore Ho Chi Minh because we're here. But Singapore, I have more payware scenery. I'm okay either way. Just change my controls for the Mooney. Should be this one, I think. Propeller axis. Yeah, payware, it's a mod. Let's go for Ho Chi Minh then. I guess that would be more in line with the story. That's us. Tansonat. So we're starting off for the winds here. Change that one to the Mooney. That one. We're not a citation, but we can still be 9 Victor 1 Charlie Lima. So I think Singapore airplanes have that 9 Victor tail number in the beginning. That is the standard tail number. Okay, I guess we can go and pick any of these. Is there anything that is... Oh, actually lots of GA stuff here. For large GA planes, that is. Okay, we can go with that. Go with live weather, live time. Do we dare turn on AI? Let me turn off everything else except Little Navmap and let's turn back on AI. I think with Little Navmap it might actually work. Let's see. Let's hope. Okay. Extend. Rip. Not too bad from the plan actually. When we... So this is Little Navmap. That's the waypoint that wasn't plugged into the flight plan. So I had to do that manually. It wasn't too bad for a manual correction. Quite like that. And everything else was by the book though. So let's reset everything. Which button was it? This one. And explore Ho Chi Minh. So let's see. Let's have a look at the map here. So that's the airport. Anything I can remember? I remember we were able to stay at a fancy 5-star hotel for very cheap because it was Lunar New Year. There was no one in the area. So we were wondering how we got such cheap hotels. But actually, Ho Chi Minh looks like it's huge. Well, Ho Chi Minh is this one, right? Let's see. Yeah, that's true. Vietnam is not an expensive country. But in addition, it was even cheaper than usual. Because, yeah, it was off-peak season when it comes to hotels, at least, I guess. Unfortunately, I cannot distinguish. The names are not familiar to me at all. It might be a different area altogether. than I am familiar with. So let's just maybe go around and see if we find some interesting buildings. And if the sim crashes, then that means we have to end the stream. It will be a good sign. Open the door. The window rather. Come in, guys. Want to visit one day. Yeah, hopefully when all this is over, right? Okay, good. Batteries on. Good there. I love the sound of this plane. I think it goes like this, if I remember correctly. Boost pump. Start the engine. Turn on the beacons actually. Avionics. Yeah. Hopefully in the future we'll have a chance to travel. All this is over. Let's go 1,000 feet. Taxi lights. Let's go. Flaps for takeoff, trims for takeoff, no one there, and this time really have to look because we have AI planes in the vicinity. Hey Whoosh, thanks for joining the stream, how are you? You could open doors but only in these payware planes, in the default planes you can't. Yeah, so this one actually one asset of this premium plane, or payware plane I should say. 070 is the runway heading. So that there. So just the course as such. So let's continue off here. Yeah, we'll be cruising at 1,000 feet. Very low, so we can explore the buildings closer. Looks like a fairly flat area anyway, but I'm sure we'll see something. Yarbla, how are you? Are you playing? Yeah, that's true, but many Singaporeans travel a lot because not much to explore locally. Very limited area. But yeah, I don't think in the Longitude you can connect the jetway. You have to be an airliner for it. And in reality, I don't think they'll do that anyway, right? Okay, so from here, we'll turn right, turn on to the runway. Let's close that. We can turn off the boost pump now. Controls are good. Okay, free and correct. Been a bit under the weather, oh my goodness. Get well soon, guys. You'll have plenty of chance left, Hud, that's true. But hopefully things get better soon for everyone. Lighting wise, panel. Traveled around this tiny island more than you ever have. That's a good opportunity, right? To explore. Good way to explore. I've heard of several colleagues who've done the same. They've been living here all their life and they've never really explored Singapore that much. I blame Jack because he isn't here. Yeah, we can all blame him. Alright. Strobes going on, nav lights, landing lights. Runway is clear. It looks like we have clear weather because the live weather didn't load properly again. We still have that bug apparently. There's a workaround for it, but I refuse to use it. Alright, off we go. Winds, we actually have tailwind 3 knots. That shouldn't be an issue though. Maintain center line here. Around 60 knots would be our rotation speed. There you go. Positive rate. Gear up, tap the brakes. Looking good. Maintain runway heading for now. Lower the RPMs a bit so it wouldn't be too loud. 2300 sounds good. Manifold pressure can also go down. Workaround Alt F4. That works too. Kind of ish. Flaps can go up. Ah, beautiful. It does feel very Ho Chi Minh-ish. That has that vibe with a combination of buildings. So I think that's well done here. Right, 1,000 feet, let's level off here. Let me hand fly for a bit. Just a tad. Slower RPMs to 2,200 maybe. Make it a bit more quieter, that one. There you go. Beautiful. Yeah, this is the peak. This is the highlight of Flight Sim 2020. Really flying around in a small plane, exploring areas like this. And yeah, appreciating all the satellite imagery and AI goodness of how these landscapes are built. I don't think anything here is handmade. Looks like they fixed some bridges there. Very nice. Blame Jack. Yeah, looks like Jack is contagious. Passed on the stuff to you. Very nice, right? Very nice. What river is that? I don't know, but it looks good. Just enjoying the scenery like this. Yeah, it would be good to have like 2 people here. One would be flying and looking around, and one would be referencing the map and checking real areas. That would be a great experience. Man, let's have a look outside, although I'm scared that I won't be able to maintain the plane properly. There it is. See the clouds now. This is automatically generated. All this. My goodness. That's why people are praising FS 2020. This is a huge achievement. Which is, ironically enough, in a flight sim, you would, I guess, think that flight simming, the actual flight sim elements, would be top priority. But in this case, they went for the scenery, which is a huge thing of why you fly anyway. So they decided to focus on that first, and I think from a marketing perspective, it makes a lot of sense. It's much more impactful to focus on the flying elements or the scenery elements like this, because this is what other sims don't have. So focusing on something that's untapped. If they focused on the flight sim elements as well, having like proper avionics and stuff like that, then at the end of the day, they can just say, oh, it's like X-Plane. So they don't really differentiate themselves. But with this approach, focusing on the scenery, leveraging Bing Maps, so that's a bit of a bug right there. Oh, is this hotel? Let's see, maybe this is the hotel we stayed at. like so. But yeah, with that kind of focus, makes a lot of sense why they chose it that way. It seems to be making a bit of sense now, this area. We're actually at the airport again. You can follow this river around. See where it leads. Go VFR. But yeah, now I understand their decision. Initially, I was hating on that decision because if you're making a flight sim, you have to focus on the flight sim elements, don't you? But yeah, to differentiate themselves, I guess that's one idea, one good idea. And now you can see that in the articles that come out, like in the videos that come out, all the mainstream media highlighting the innovations from this sim. They wouldn't have been put on the radar if they just settled for normal flight sim elements. So it's a good way to start things off. Get yourself known by everyone and then build on that. Smart. I guess it's not something that hardcore flight simmers will agree with, but something that makes a lot of sense. That looks good. Asobo knows what people want. Yeah, true. I think it's Microsoft ultimately, the planners behind it all. They know what approach to take to get a lot of the market share, and from there, eventually someone will pick up the slack. In particular, creating the study level planes will be up to the others, which is exactly what we're seeing now happening, right? With the CJ4 mod, people taking care of it, making it much better. So you get all the scenery, and now you also get a very nice plane. Like this plane in particular, it's not study level by far, but it works. It has all the engine temperatures and all the different readings that you can expect from a real plane. Not everything is simulated in real life, but it's good enough that you can actually call this a proper plane, and then it works similarly. So you get to enjoy the experience without getting bogged down with so many of the hassles. So you keep the fun elements in, but keep out the realistic elements. Is there someone near us? I'm hearing another plane. Or is that our own engine? Oh, there is someone. Nice. Super cool. It's nice we get these friends. Halo Hogtacular. Hello. Thanks for joining us on our flight. That's also one aspect of it. The multiplayer experience is something I personally haven't tapped yet at all. Something which has a lot of potential. Didn't realize the river meandered through the city like this. Very cool. Yeah, me neither. It's very nice. I still can't recognize any place though. Like even if I look in the map, they're filled with so many different well, the names are not familiar at all. They're Vietnamese, but I was hoping I could at least distinguish something. There is no collision though, thankfully, because that will be very bad. There can be lots of trolls. In this way, you can fly with people without risk of someone trolling you. Spending hours and hours of flight just to get hit by a troll, that would be very frustrating. Hey Bryce, yeah, this is Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh. Pretty rich with history. Yeah, they'll just pass through each other. I hear our friend, there he is. I saw his shadow, there he is. I wish there was a honking thing. Oh, that's super cool. Where is he? I see him. People love flying circles around me. That shows how slow I am. Hey J baby, thanks for joining the stream. Is it the same guy from the last stream? I actually don't know. Maybe. No, I think it's a different one. Interesting enough, in the Singapore video that I released, there was someone like this as well. He was flying with me and doing loops all over me. I think I'm a pretty easy target because I fly slow and I fly just very like an old guy. This plane is such a pleasure to fly, though. I've been hand flying all the way, guys. It's nice to just mix and match it. Let's get a bit of clouds here. If we're not getting live weather, might as well make it a bit more scenic, right? There it is. Just like that. Some beautiful clouds with the same performance. I'm also not sure what's the news with GameStop. I heard that their stock prices, is it plummeted or soared? One of the two. But dived either up or down. And then I saw something about GameStop in Reddit that related. Didn't quite read up on it yet though. I hear him somewhere. There he is. Oh, that's so cool. It's actually flying right beside us. I wish there was a honk, honk, honk. That is so nice. Pretty cool stuff. Thanks for flying with me. What time is it? 5 minutes? Okay. I think that's a nice quick city tour. Actually was climbing a bit there. Let's get back to 1,000 feet. You could waggle your wings. Oh yeah, that's true. Hi. Waving. Okay. Let's go direct to the airport. Where is it? How do you do that again? So if we go nearest airport, that's that one. That one's oh, I'm diving. Oh crap. That's the problem. You're not looking at the controls. So go for that one. Go direct. Enter. There you go. And if we go back to the flight plan, there it is. There it is. Okay, so straight ahead. Okay, I see the airport. I see someone actually taking off as well, I think. And we should be headed straight into runway 07 right here. Cool. We just made a loop accidentally. 140 knots should be safe for flaps to go down 1 notch. Landing gear, I'm not sure what the safe speed is. Start slowing down here though. Mixture full, RPM full. Landing gear down. When is the all instrument flying? No looking out of the cockpit. No GPS challenge. Oh, that would be great, huh? Yeah. Actually, in some cases they do that, right? They don't look out of the cockpit, like when it's IMC, when you're in the clouds. You can only rely on your instruments, like you do like that. And we can do that if I plugged in the ILS. You can actually do that. That will be an interesting trial. Flaps full. Looking good here. Start slowing down. Flying with the hood while under instruction. Yeah. It's pretty cool stuff. I think my first VATSIM flight was more like that, unintentionally, because of all the weather was really bad that time. How are the winds like? We have a bit of tailwind here. That's fine, we can manage. 4 knots I think is something we can work with. Pitch up, pitch up. Oh, oh. Happy lights is good. Yeah, this is one challenging thing about this aircraft. It kind of wants to be nose up when it's landing like this, so it's very bad on the visibility. You can hardly see anything. You just trust yourself that you're doing the right thing. Somewhat. Okay, that looks good. Looking good. Alright. Going to idle. Whoa. It's pretty cool. Let it settle. There we go. Beautiful. That's the same friend. Cool stuff. For me, the maneuver enough is landing in one piece. Did the stream just crash? Hopefully not. Bye! Great stuff. Right, let's turn off here. Flaps up. Landing lights can go off. Strobes and actually that one off. Stream's still running. Didn't see any AI planes though, did we? Is he still flying around? Oh, super cool. Advanced aerobatics. That was fun. I like that combo. Flying to a place and exploring it for a bit. Even if you can't spot specific landmarks, the entire vibe just gives you that very nice fuzzy feeling. I can park here probably. They can tow us anywhere. We can just tow ourselves there. Let the truck take us the rest of the way. Looking good. We can actually get some fresh air. Beacon's still on. Avionics can go off. And from there, and we're good to go. 15 minutes of nice flying outside. I'll take that. So yes, thank you guys for flying with me. Enjoy the trip. Thanks for hanging out. Catch you on Discord in the meantime. If anyone's not yet there, !Discord. If you want more content, we have lots in YouTube. !YouTube gets you there. Lots of past streams. Full 1440 quality. Lots of other flights in there and other sims as well. That's the... Oh, that was unintentional. That was the breadcrumbs from our flight. We did like a weird pattern kind of thing. Cool stuff. Purely unintentional. Alright. So anyway, thanks for hanging out guys. Appreciate the company. Catch you in 2 days for some trucking. In the meantime, stay safe and clumsy flying. Have a good one. Bye-bye.